What's good, y'all? Welcome to another episode, and today we are talking about affordable three-row SUVs you should buy. This is the list for my families out there that got big families, a lot of kids, and they need a lot of space to be able to feel good. Now, they don't want to be pulled over on the side of the road because something happened to their car because their car is unreliable. They want something that's good, that's potentially efficient if possible, and it looks good and is possibly fun to drive. So if that's you, let's talk about it. Bring it in. What's good, y'all? So if you don't know already, make sure you check the site, lowexcelsapparel.com. The link will be in the description of this video. It is also on the YouTube channel in the shop section. Make sure you check it out. Get what you need. I got hoodies, I got sweatshirts, I got t-shirts, I got sweatpants, I got beanies. Whatever you need, I got it for you. So do yourself a favor. Support the channel, support yourself, and look good while you're doing it. Okay, but without further ado, let's get into this video. Number one, that would be a 2013 to 2019 Ford Flex Limited all-wheel drive EcoBoost. This came equipped with 3.5 liter V6, 365 horsepower, 350 pound-feet of torque. 0 to 60, what we talking? 6.2 seconds. The tow capacity of this was 4,500 pounds. So, this car is definitely better than a lot of people give it credit for. This was actually average to above average reliability. This car is going to handle all your needs. Now, when this initially came out, a lot of people did not like the design. They did not like the boxy shape. They thought it was ugly. Me personally, I think the later years of this car is relatively attractive. I think it doesn't look like anything else on the road, and it has all the space that you need, and it's actually quick. Now, a lot of people didn't know about the EcoBoost version. And mind you, you can get the regular version of this car as well and still be good, but you already know how I'm going to do. I'm going to always give you the quicker, better, faster version of the trim of this vehicle or any top vehicle, right? So me personally, I think this is the one that you would really want just because, hey, it's the quick one, it's fast.
Hi, couple of SUVs ready to go here.
Now, mind you, if you're not worried about speed, you still won't lose no sleep getting the older one or the slower one, the cheaper one. They're still going to be good cars overall. Just make sure whoever you're getting it from, did they due diligence on this car and made sure that they kept up with it so you're not left with all the issues on the back end. But when those issues do come up, problems that would arise would be carbon buildup, fuel pump problems, PTU leaks, interior build quality, a lot of people say it's kind of cheap, and electrical issues. So not the worst, not the best. It's right in the middle, you know, but again, you can get some examples that are above average when it comes to reliability. Once again, if you like the way this car looks, it's going to be perfect for you. It's enough space for the whole fam. You ain't gonna have no issues with that. And this one in particular is fun because it's actually pretty fast. Now, fun is kind of a bold statement, you know, depending on what kind of car you're coming out of. But I mean, for a big three-row SUV, I would like to call it potentially fun because they don't move that quick and they don't usually have that much power. So definitely check that out if you're in the market for one of those. But let's move on. Number two, that would be a 2016 to 2021 Honda Pilot Elite all-wheel drive. This came equipped with a 3.5 liter, 280 horsepower, 262 pound-feet of torque. 0 to 60, what we talking? 6.3 seconds. This came equipped with a tow capacity of 3,500 pounds. So this is a Honda, you already know. It actually is above average to good reliability. Now, this is going to be one of the, I would say, less powerful cars on this list in a sense, but it's still going to be a good car, and it's going to be super reliable, as you know. Now, you do see a lot of these on the road, so I mean, if you're really worried about rarity when it comes to one of these things, it's not going to stand out too much. So you might walk out of the grocery store and walk up to the wrong car thinking it was yours, but it ain't, because everybody got it, right? But if you get the elite all-wheel drive, they do have like black editions as well that you can get that will potentially stand out and kind of benefit you more to your likings, I would say. But mind you, this list here is also 25K and under, possibly. That's how I kind of try to design this list, so just keep that in the back of your mind with the cars that we do list. Should have mentioned it earlier, but it's all good, I mentioned it here. But again, this Honda Pilot Elite all-wheel drive is definitely going to be super reliable if you're worried about those things, you know, and you want something that's going to last, that's not going to have too many issues. This is what you're going to want to jump in. But again, it's not going to stand out. It's going to be pretty generic, and it's a Honda at the end of the day, so anybody can get into it and feel the same way you do. Issues that you may run into: they had a hood latch recall, they had a fuel pump recall, and it also had some electrical issues. Believe it or not, a lot of these cars have fuel pump issues. I don't know why. A lot of premature wear on the fuel pump, so keep that in mind. But once again, not too many issues with this car. It's going to be above average to good, like I mentioned earlier, and it's a Honda, so you know it's built to last. It's just not going to be too fancy or too different from what's already on the road that you see everybody in. And the 3 rows to this compared to the Limited, it's going to be smaller, you know, and a lower tow capacity if you're worried about those things. So remember, keep that in mind. This will have the lowest tow capacity of all cars on this list. So if you're thinking about pulling a trailer or pulling, you know, some type of mobile home or whatever you pulling, make sure you know that that's an issue possibly for you. But let's move on. Number 3, that would be a 2016 to 2020 Infiniti QX80. This came equipped with a 5.6 liter V8, 400 horsepower, 413 pound-feet of torque. 0 to 60, what we talking? 5.9 seconds. This came equipped with a tow capacity of 8,500 pounds. So by far, y'all, this is going to be the only V8 on this list, and it's going to be the strongest car on this list as far as tow capacity goes. When it came to reliability, it was above average to good as well, similar to the Honda. Now, of course, you could get a bad example from somebody who didn't keep up with it and really trashed it, so you would have more issues than not. But once again, it is an Infiniti over a Honda, so you know parts will be a little more expensive. But to me personally, this car looks way better than any other Honda SUVs. You know, that could be subjective. You might feel differently, but hey, that's how I feel. This is gonna look good. It's gonna relatively sound good too, if that's something that you're worried about. It's going to have all the space in the world. You have enough tech for you and the kids in the back. And again, you want to put a boat hitch on the back of this car, you want to tow another one of your cars, you moving across country, whatever you're doing, you'll be able to do that with no problem, because the tow capacity in this car is pretty much supreme for what it's worth. You know, you relatively or pretty much have a truck in a sense as well as an SUV or a full-size SUV, where you'll be good with this. So I do think this is going to be cool, especially like I mentioned, under 25K. You can get a really good example of one of these, and you're going to have all the tech that you need, and it's going to look good. Issues that you may run into: it had a battery drain issue. The air suspension sometimes could have problems. Fuel pump, once again. Transmission, they had mentioned it was sluggish at times, or sometimes it felt like it stuck. Definitely check that out. And just electrical issues overall. So once again, not everyone went through all of these problems, but a decent majority had some of these problems, or at least one of them. So don't think you're going into a car and it's going to have all these issues, but just make sure that you're checking up with it and you know who you're buying it from, and possibly, who knows, maybe they got work done on these things previously or not too long ago, so you can jump right in it and not worry about none of that stuff. But that's just my take on it. Let's move on. Number 4, that would be a 2014 to 2020 Acura MDX SH all-wheel drive advanced package. This came equipped with a 3.5 liter V6, 290 horsepower, 267 pound-feet of torque. 0 to 60, what we talking? 6.3 seconds. This came equipped with a tow capacity of 5,000 pounds. So this is an Acura, which is in the Honda family. This is going to be the more luxurious, more, I would say, better looking Honda version or Acura version of the Honda Pilot. Look at it that way. The MDX is probably going to be a little bigger, I believe. I believe it's actually a little bigger. It's going to have a stronger engine. You know, it's going to be more luxurious. It's going to drive smoother. And to me personally, it looks better. When it came to reliability, this was also above average to good reliability, y'all. So we're dealing with a car that's around the same speed for the most part, but it has a better tow capacity and it looks better. So why wouldn't you take that route? And the advanced package comes with all the technology that you need, so you don't got to worry about being out of touch with that. You'll have everything you need for yourself and the kids. And like I mentioned previously, you can put a little tow hitch on there and pull whatever you need. Now, it's not the highest, but it sure enough is not the lowest, and it's definitely better than that Honda. If you have any intentions of pulling anything with a SUV, a 3-row SUV at that, make sure you would choose this over the Honda if you're in the same market for both of them, because a lot of people usually are. Issues that you may run into is fuel pump. Once again, y'all, another fuel pump. Jerky transmission. Some people mentioned it was a little shaky. And electrical issues. So not the worst, not the best. Some people had a little more issues than others, but for the most part, a large majority of these people who own this car really didn't have too many issues at all, and they loved their car. Some people said it's the best SUV they've owned. So definitely take a look at that. And again, under 25K, you can get these great examples as well. You know, and I'm actually in the market for one of these particular cars, and who knows what it may be. I like that MDX though, and I think y'all will too. So if you're in the market for 3-row SUVs, make sure you check that out. But let's move on. Number 5, that would be a 2017 to 2020 Toyota Highlander Limited Platinum all-wheel drive. This came equipped with a 3.5 liter V6, 295 horsepower, 263 pound-feet of torque. 0 to 60, what we talking? 6.7 seconds. So now this is a Toyota, y'all. We taking it even a step further in the reliability category. This is actually good reliability to great reliability, okay? Now, this is going to have everything you need as well. It's going to be huge. It can pull, as you've seen. It has the same tow capacity as the Acura MDX, so keep that in mind. It's a Toyota at the end of the day, so parts is going to be easy to find, and they're not going to be that expensive. Now, this is going to come down more so to a price preference as far as like looks wise, maybe, because again, both of these cars are very reliable if you're comparing it to the Acura previously. So it really comes down to what you like. Does the interior look better on this for you? Yes or no? Does the exterior look better? Yes or no? If it do, then you go with this. Now, mind you, of course, Toyotas are usually going to be more pricey than the Acura would be, although they're kind of close. They're close, but you'll still pay more for a Toyota. Usually just, you know, out of 10 versions of a Toyota, out of 10 out of Acura, you're going to pay a little more for the Toyota because you know you're paying for that brand name and you're paying for that reliability. But this is still going to be a great car, as I'm sure a lot of y'all may know, and I'm sure a lot of y'all may have had this car, or you know people who have this car. You really don't have to worry about too many issues with this car because it's a Toyota. But if you do run into things, problems that may arise would be oxygen sensors, oil leaks, rear trailing arms, and some mention transmission slip. So again, not the most serious issues, but serious enough for you to definitely take a second look and say, hey, was this done? Did you fix this? Will I need to work on that soon? Ask yourself those questions and ask the person who you purchased it from those questions, and make sure you got the Carfax, y'all. Don't go into any deal without the Carfax and know what that car been through. Okay, make sure you're doing that. But I think that's a great car for you. That's my list. Top 5 affordable 3-row SUVs you should buy. But you already know how I do. I always got to add a bonus, and the bonus of the day would be a 2020 to 21 Kia Telluride SX all-wheel drive. This came equipped with a 3.8 liter V6, 291 horsepower, 262 pound-feet of torque. 0 to 60, what we talking? 7.1 seconds. The tow capacity of this is also 5,000 pounds. So, I know y'all like, hey, he put a Kia as the bonus? Like, what's going on? Hey, to be fair, the Kia Telluride is a good car. When it comes to reliability, it's average to above average, but hey, you got a lot of them that are above average. Now, this is going to be the newest car on this list, and because it has the Kia name, like we've mentioned in previous videos, you can get into it a little cheaper than you would, per se, an Acura or a Toyota. Why? Because the name Kia, a lot of people are synonymous with attributing that to an unreliable, terrible car, which it's not. Now, they've definitely made leaps and bounds in the past comparison to now, where they don't have the same issues that they had. Now, this in particular is just a new car in general. It came out in 2020, so you can get one of these years in the very beginning. But mind you, always be wary. You know, I do tell you guys, you don't necessarily want the beginning year of anything, really, let alone just a car. You really don't want the beginning year of anything per se, but these cars still, even in the beginning years, really didn't have too many issues. And there's a lot of people who have these cars to this day, and they love them. They do what they need to do, and this car definitely looks good. It's one of the better looking cars on this list, and it's new, like I mentioned before. So you're gonna have all the aftermarket tech that people are dealing with today in newer cars, you see what I'm saying? And it's gonna look good, you know, and it's gonna drive smooth, it's gonna drive right, and it's gonna be big enough for the fam, and it has a high enough tow capacity for you to put a hitch on there and pull what you need to pull. Issues that may arise is transmission issues and electrical issues. So once again, everyone's not dealing with these problems, but some people who do have issues, these are the main problems that would potentially come up. So keep that in mind. So this is my list, y'all. If it was up to me, what would I go with? I probably would have to pull up either with that Acura MDX or that Infiniti QX80. You know, those are my two. But I ain't sleep on the Ford Flex though, neither. Ford Flex got some power on it. I ain't sleep on that. But yeah, that's what I would go with, y'all. I do think you really can't go wrong with any of these cars as long as you do your due diligence and you do your research on these cars. All of them, as you've seen, are average at lowest to great reliability, you know. So you're dealing with a bunch of 3-row SUVs that's going to actually be built for the long haul, be built for the long run, depending on whatever you want to use it for. And they all have a relatively high towing capacity for you to be able to put a trailer hitch on and pull whatever you need, minus the Honda Pilot slightly. 3500 isn't the lowest, but it's not the best either. It's the worst on this list, but still, that's still more than enough for you to pull minor things if that was something that you're doing. You still got 3 rows and you still got enough space for your family to do what you need. And if you don't got a family, you just want a big car, you put them seats down and look all the space you got then. You feel me? You got enough space to do whatever you need to do. So that's my list, y'all. Y'all get in the comment section below. Let me know what y'all will go with. And of course, if you're looking to tune your car, you're looking to mod it, make sure you check the link in my description. I got you a whole bunch of discounted prices. Wherever you at in the world, we can get it sent to you. You get what you need, and you're going to be legit. Make your car quick, make it fast, and make it reliable. Okay, if you like this video, make sure you share, make sure you subscribe, and just like that, I'm out of here. Peace.